All right, hi everybody, and welcome back. It is Phil Nagy on Sports, joined today by Kit, of course, who is back home after his weekend of traveling, and we are ready to get this thing popping. Week 1 of the 2021 season. All the rosters have updated, all the cuts are done, all the rookies have made the roster, and now it's just time for some foosball. So, Kit, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Really excited to see the Browns premiere with this really exciting new roster that they have for the 2021 season, and yeah, this should be a really fun one. Raiders coming in, with an exciting roster of their own. They had some juice last season, and the Browns and Raiders is an exciting matchup to be sure. Especially when you're playing at home in prime time to open the season.
Oh yeah, a little Sunday night game to start the season. Are you kidding me? That Muni lot has been frothy for hours. All right. Well, I say without further ado, let's get this thing going. Again, welcome everybody. Appreciate you being on. Full NFL, full-length sims using Madden. And we are ready to get this one going. So, Cody Parkey back to kick. Nice. Excellent timing for sure, George.
Yeah, welcome in, Paul. Welcome in, George. Excited you're here. We're excited for this one. This should be a fun game.
Absolutely. And we do appreciate George for moderating our chat in the YouTube. Just one piece of note, because we are no longer now in the Perfect World Sim, injuries were turned back on. And I'm sorry, Raiders fans, but Josh Jacobs is in a 2-week recovery for a dislocated ankle. So you will see this guy right here on his hip, and up the middle, Kenyon Drake. Now you can maybe see some more of the wisdom in picking him up, but they were able to get Kenyon Drake, and he will be the running back today along with Jalen Richard and Theo Riddick, kind of that third down scat back option. His car is back to pass, and it's knocked down in the middle. That's Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Yeah, I like seeing him getting involved early. He's such a dynamic player in this defense.
Third down and 5 now, left side. He's going to dump it off to Drake, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds by Grant Delpit. Great play there on defense for the Browns. They're going to have to punt.
Very nicely done here by the defense of the Browns, getting started, getting the 3 and out right out the gate, and after a little bit of a nice run from Kenyon Drake, then shut him down in the next 2 pass plays. Does do a nice job there.
And there's Demetric Belton, our prognosticated punt returner. Welcome in, Wendell. Hi, Karen. All right, let's get this thing popping, baby. Mayfield's going to start in a shotgun. He's got both of the running backs on either side of him. And he's back to pass, surveying the field on a first down. And he fires a strike over the middle, and it's caught by Landry. He's got it down to the 42-yard line, 21 yards. First play of the game, Jarvis Landry.
Well, what a nice little bullet he put right up the field. He just threaded the needle through a bunch of defenders, found a little bit of a soft spot there in the defense where he could exploit, and got it in there in time. Nicely done by Baker Mayfield.
First down give left side to Nick Chubb, and he's going to be ripped down right at the line of scrimmage there. It looked like Cleveland Farrell was the defensive lineman to do the dirty work after a short gain of 1 yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Baker now in the shotgun again. He's going to bring some motion. He's got a little drag across the middle if he wants it. He fires it left side. He's got Chubb out of the backfield, and he's pushing his way towards the line to gain. And they're going to give him the first down yards. Nice play there, Nick Chubb after the catch.
Yeah, Chubb is so dangerous in space. The extension on the pass play, you get him out there in space, and he can really get some work done.
Turn around, first carry for Kareem Hunt, and he knifes through the middle for a nice gain of 5 there for Kareem Hunt. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Browns. Yannick Ngakoue, of course, one of the free agent signings to the Raiders, makes the tackle here.
Yeah, we're all very familiar with him, so we'll see him again this season as we play these Raiders.
Chubb up the middle, and he's going to be ripped down pretty quickly there. That's the second year cornerback Damon Arnett from Ohio State University, of course.
And speaking of guys we're familiar with, in your shot there, you saw Cadillac Carl now playing again for these Raiders. That's where he came from and where he went back to.
Absolutely. Now a 3rd and 5. Baker's back to pass, surveying the field, fires left side for Beckham, and he's got him down to the 36-yard line and a first down. Needed 5, got 8. First down, Browns.
Yeah, and that's how you draw them up. When you're looking at a 3rd down, you got to make sure you got routes that are going to go past the sticks. They do exactly that with Beckham. Hit him on that nice little route and get 8 yards out of it, just enough for the first down, just what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Turn around, give it the ball up the middle now. Nick Chubb. Oh, nice block. He's got a hole. He's up to the first down and more. Nick Chubb for a great run to the 24 before he's brought down by the rookie safety, Trevor Morig.
Yeah, beautiful little cut in the hole there, just following his blocker, and then he finds a seam that he can exploit, takes a little bit of that cut that gets him a bunch of extra yards, then just takes on the contact and keeps plowing.
First down and 10, give it ball up the middle again. This time it's Nick Chubb angling, breaking off tacklers and falling down for a nice gain of 3. There on first down, Corey Littleton there to make the tackle.
And Nick Chubb just showing how he's so difficult to tackle out here, as he's just, hard-earned yards out there bouncing off of tacklers.
Second down look here, setting up a little screen to the left side to Chubb. He's got it, he's got some blockers. He's at the 20, he's at the 15, and there's Morig, number 7, flying into the screen to come make a tackle. That's going to set up a 3rd and inches here for the Browns.
Yeah, absolutely, Wendell. Baker's really looking good so far in this first drive. Very clinical here, just putting on a clinic of nicely executed offensive football.
Absolutely, a little hard count for Baker. Turn around, give it to Chubb, and he's going to be right on the line to gain. And I think they're going to call him a yard short. What the heck? Let's go, go, go. See if we can catch him in a little bit. Here he goes, right up the middle. Chubb!
He's got that. That's an easy first down. Yeah, he's got it. That's a first down. Nicely done. That's exactly what Kevin Stefanski would do in that spot there. Hurry up and try to get, catch the defense off balance, and sure enough, they do, just enough to get the first.
Absolutely. Turn around this time. It's Kareem Hunt, and he's going to knife his way to the right side of the line. And it looks like maybe just pick up a single yard that time for Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, running behind that mauler out there and Teller, that's a recipe for success. That guy, he mauls defenders for sure.
Often is. Back to pass now on a 2nd and 9. Baker surveying the field, floats it right side. Looks like he's just going to throw this one away. Although it did look like he had Landry in the back of the end zone there if he wanted that play. All right, 3rd and 9. Still can't get a first down at about the 4-yard line here as Baker steps back into a shotgun. He's back to pass. He's looking, and he's going to just throw this ball out of the back of the end zone again. So live to take the points, I suppose. Not necessarily the way we want, but ending every drive with a kick is something I always subscribe to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether that's 3 or a punt or an extra point, but that means we didn't turn it over. So nice opening drive there for the Browns, and they get 3 on the board courtesy of Cody Parker, now donning that Phil Dawson number 4. As rookie Richard LeCount has taken his college number 2, and probably slid Parkey a few shekels for the opportunity. Hey Keith, welcome in. Greetings and salutations. Also, happy Mother's Day to all of you listening out there today here from Nagy on Sports. I know Kit and I are both very blessed to have awesome mothers, and I'm assuming that y'all do too, because mothers are special people. So happy Mother's Day to those folks and anybody who may be watching.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
All right, here is Derek Carr now on their 2nd drive of the game. Remember, no Josh Jacobs. He's nursing a little bit of an ankle. He'll be out for another couple of weeks, Raiders fans, but don't worry, he'll be back. That man right there, Kenyon Drake, of course, kind of a head-scratching off-season sign for some of us, like, what? But now we're maybe seeing the wisdom of that signing, because he gives you kind of a 1A starting running back behind Josh Jacobs, as now he angles up the middle, breaking tackles, and he's going to get ripped down by Ronnie Harrison. I think he's going to be a yard short. He is. Brings up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that. I think a lot of NFL teams probably saw, what the Browns were doing with that 1A running back. with Hunt, except for, the difference with Kenyon Drake and his signing is that was a lot of money they threw his way to be a starting-ish running back, whereas Hunt is on a much more reasonable deal for the Browns.
Yes, absolutely is. Absolutely, as they pitch to the right side. Oh, gets upended on the outside. That was Greg Newsome, the rookie, number 20, who just absolutely got flipped. But his teammates did a nice job to pursue, including JOK, who makes that tackle, his third already of the first quarter. As they try to go again, right side, this is Jalen Richard, and Troy Hill says sit down for a TFL there. So some of these new defensive pieces already having an impact.
And I think that's we saw in the last two plays in particular, that's really the calling card of this newly rebuilt defense is speed. You'll see them fly around, and they've got that speed to be able to make those kind of plays as they force a fourth down here. Very nicely done in coverage, but yeah, this Browns defense is absolutely predicated now on speed. They made huge effort to upgrade in speed, and that's very much what the Browns defense needed.
Absolutely, and that was the rookie Greg Newsome on coverage on the very, very speedy Henry Ruggs, and Newsome made a great play here as A.J. Cole, the punter, gets this thing to die on the 1 yard line. So Browns a little bit of work to do here to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. Janovich into the game, of course. Chubb probably just going to pound this thing up the middle. They do right there. Hey, he's got a little bit of a hole there, and he gets some nice yardage there. Nice run for Nick Chubb on 1st and 10 from the shadow of the end zone.
Yeah, and give this dominant O-line some credit there. They blew a huge hole in the middle of that defense to get out of the shadow of the end zone there.
There's a power look to the left side, and a nice run again. You could see the pulling Wyatt Teller there. That's a scary proposition for most anybody on the defense is to see Wyatt Teller motoring your direction.
That's for sure.
Baker under center again. Janovich in this. They've been in this 21 personnel a good deal here on this first drive, even some 22 as Hunt goes up the middle for just a short yard. Second and 9 here. Clock's at about 2:40 as Baker Mayfield falls back into the shotgun formation. And he's going to give it to Chubb on the trap. Whoa, and it's blown up there as you could see Bitonio coming across, and Cleveland Farrell right there in your screen, 96, absolutely blew that play up, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Yes, Keith, you're absolutely right. Speed of this defense is critical for handling offenses like Baltimore's, who have guys like Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
And that will be a huge improvement on this season, where we should look a lot better in defense against teams like that.
Absolutely. Here he is. He's going to check it down to Chubb because he got a room. He's going to push. He's going to push. Did he get the spot? He did not get the spot. Oh, great effort there from Nick Chubb.
Yeah, it did look like his knee went down a little bit early there before he could get to the line to gain. Good effort from Chubb, but just not quite able to get there.
Tempted to go for it, but at the own 23, that's a little ballsy, even for Stefanski.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
All right. Again, drives it in with kicks. We were able to flip the field a little bit again after that A.J. Cole punt landed on the 1 yard line. 24 by half. Okay, Wendell. Challenge accepted. As they're going to hand this one off again up the middle. Kenyon Drake angling his way to the left side. Good tackle there in space. Anthony Walker Jr. and Ronnie Harrison in the vicinity to bring him down as Earl over there talks to Jonathan Hankins. Big defensive tackle.
Good old EA Earl. Sounds like he's no longer going to be a fixture
coming
in the new
or
game.
Maybe, I don't know. Are they going to be like name, image, and likeness to the actual coaches? Like,
that's what I've heard.
Will Joe Woods be on there and Alex Van Pelt be on there?
That's what I understand to be the case anyway. We'll see if that actually becomes the thing, but.
Very interesting. On a 3rd and 1, they give it up the middle. Big time hit by Malik Jackson, but I think he's going to get the yardage to gain. He is. First down for Drake, but Malik made him feel it, though. Woo.
Sure did. That was a big time hit.
We're still waiting for a number on Malik Jackson, by the way, and Jordan Elliott, since it sounds like Clowney will take 90, which Malik has worn in the past, and Jordan wore last year. So we'll see. 92 is just a pure speculative guess on my part. As Carr goes back to pass. He's got a streaking man across the middle. That's Hunter Renfro, and he's going to be ripped down right at the midfield stripe. Look at Troy Hill kind of fling him like a rag doll right at the 50-yard line.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3, little read option, and Carr's going to keep it for a first down. What was that?
Yeah, caught the defense snapping a little bit. Nice little play call there. Not what you expect out of Carr, but makes it work.
It's kind of like that Rams game we saw yesterday with a QB draw. 5 wide. This one's picked. It's Ward. He's got it. That ball was behind Ruggs, and Denzel Ward makes an awesome pick, and now he's in the zone.
Look out.
Let's
Look
watch
out.
this replay
This was
now.
awesome.
Look at this. Oh, look at that catch.
As Denzel Ward is the
man.
receiver behind the receiver,
Oh,
making
that was
just
awesome.
a layout catch. What a job by Denzel Ward. That was awesome indeed.
That really was. That was a great play. I kind of want to take a shot, but there are no shot plays here available to my disposal. Our conservative play calling, run heavy playbook doesn't give me any 1st and 10 shot plays. We'll try a little play action boot and see what happens here. Baker back to pass now, spinning, looking, and Max Crosby is going to take him down for the first sack of the football game for either team. 10-yard loss. That's Max with 2 X's, in case you were wondering. All right, well, not exactly the way I wanted to strike right after a turnover. Sorry, Denzel. We have Hill as the nickel. Is that what you're asking, Keith? Hill is like the slot corner.
Yeah, slot corner.
Which he will most definitely be. He was one of the top slot players in the planet last year, according to PFF. So.
Yep. In his first ever year playing in the slot, he's got capability, starting time on the outside. He's proven he can do that too, but his slot play is really next level, and did that only the one season, and already was one of the best in the NFL at doing it in just the first year doing it.
Now I'll go for it.
Yeah, this makes a little more sense.
Turn around, give it to Chubb. He's through the hole. He's got a big hole across the line to gain, and then a lot more. First down. Nick Chubb, little burst of speed there to get through the hole quickly and aggressively.
Yeah, very nice plant there from Nick Chubb, and decisive picking his hole, but you got to enjoy what the offensive line was doing there, just keeping their guys engaged enough to give Chubb a chance to get to the next level.
Indeed. A little motion from Landry. Up the middle, Hunt. Now he's got a big hole. First down and more. Kareem past the 30, nearing the 25. Call it the 26. A big-time run for Kareem Hunt.
And this offensive line can't sing their praises enough. They're just exerting their will out here, making some huge holes for these running backs, and really allowing for some big pickups on the run game.
Absolutely. Play action look again. Baker now firing left side. He's got his man. It's a first down inside the 15 to the 9-yard line. It's Jarvis Landry. What a strike there for Baker.
Yeah, that was just beautiful. Well read, well executed there, and definitely sucked up the linebackers, because right behind him is where Baker goes with the ball, and nice completion.
Absolutely. Here. Turn around, give the ball. Nick Chubb up the middle, just kind of loses his balance and falls forward. Still going to be and now we have our first injury, and it's Jedrick Wills. That ain't good. Darn the injury fader being back on. At least they're showing him on the sideline. That's a good point.
That is a good sign.
That is a good sign versus the cart, which is not a good sign here. A second and goal now from the 6.
Something with his arm, and lineman can get past that, right?
So there we go. Our first chance to see the rookie, James Hudson, checking in now in the left tackle spot as they go up the middle with Kareem. He's going to fall forward to the 2-yard line here. That's going to set up a 3rd and goal from the 2 here for the Browns. Heavy 22 personnel here. As they're going to give it to Chubb. He's up the middle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. First touchdown period of the 2021 campaign. And how about that? Wills goes out. Hudson comes in. You could see he didn't really have anybody to block there, but he did a nice job nonetheless.
Well, that is what he was brought in for, is his blocking prowess. Just such a great scheme fit, very mobile. He had that defensive lineman background from Michigan before transferring to Cincinnati, and they made him an offensive tackle, and he really has that mobility and athleticism that they're looking for as a scheme fit here in this offensive line, and as a developmental prospect. That's the guy that down the road, he could be starting for you at right tackle, at left tackle. Right now, they're going to make him a swing tackle, it sounds like, to kind of fill the Kendall Lamb role. But you know, that could be your starter potentially when Conklin is no longer a member of the Browns. So you know, that could be quite the bookend there for quite some time. Hudson and Wills.
That would be pretty awesome. So nice.
Hey, welcome in, Jesse.
Yeah, welcome in for sure. Yeah, of course, updated rosters, dude. What are you thinking? Who do you think this is? Little jet sweep, and there's a combo of rookies right there. Number 20 and 28, JOK and Greg Newsome on the tackle as Renfro ran that little jet sweep pretty ineffectively right there.
Yeah, first round, second round, give him the old 1-2. Like it.
Yep, Clowney's out there too. Back to pass, little play action look. He's got time, but Miles is pushing hard. He's going to fire right side, and he's got an open receiver, and that is the tight end. A little injury now. Looks like Colt Miller, their left tackle. Interesting, both left tackles a little nicked here. And we'll see what they show. And he's going to the locker room. So unfortunately, that's not good, Raiders fans, as your starting left tackle, Colt Miller, going to the locker room. That was Foster Moreau, the tight end, that caught the pass.
That is good, though, for the Browns in this defensive line that has an opportunity to really feast now that they've got a backup out there.
Absolutely, as Denzel Ward quickly chases down Darren Waller. Darren Waller, a physical freak, but Ward can absolutely stay with him, and he was able to trip up the legs that time. A little fake the play action, give it up the middle, and Clowney's going to get bowled over there. I think he was surprised that the ball ended up going to him. Wasn't actually ready to tackle Drake. He was more looking for the sack.
Yeah, a bit surprising from Clowney. Not really his MO. He's known as a great run defender, and that was not great run defense in the attempted tackle there. But you know, it is Madden, so it is what it is.
Right, an incomplete pass there. JOK on great coverage there again on the running back, Kenyon Drake, and you can see some of that athleticism, some of that is speed, as JOK was right on his hip, causes the drop there.
Yes, Jesse, I think it's safe to say that these Browns are, in fact, going to be very scary in the 2021 season. I think that we've got arguably one of the best rosters in the NFL, and if the defense really can play up to its potential, look out, we're going to be good.
Pitch to the left side. Chubb's got some room and some blockers, and he's going to get ripped down right near the line to gain. Call it a nice gain of 8 there for Nick Chubb. And it does look like Wills is back in the game, Browns fans, so take a deep breath.
Just need to get it taped up, I guess.
That's right, exactly. Turn around, give it to Hunt right up the right side. It looks like he's going to bounce off the back of Teller before Corey Littleton brings him down. And that is all the further that the run goes. So 3rd and 1 upcoming as we're down to about 7 minutes left here in the first half. Turn around again, give it to Kareem Hunt. Nice big hole up the middle, Kareem, and he's going to get knocked down there by the linebacker, Corey Littleton, but not before the first down yardage was achieved. Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, again, this O-line just exerting its will, really creating huge holes out there. And you saw Jedrick Wills down the field. Just if we're gonna watch this replay, watch Jedrick Wills working down the field. All right,
a little bit out.
It's all right. He was working down the field, and he he was about 10 yards downfield trying to block for his man. I love seeing that effort from the O-line.
Absolutely. Hey, View, how we doing? Little boot to the left side. He's got Hooper. He breaks his first tackle, and then he's going to get ripped down pretty quickly after that. They're just going to call that a gain of 3 there for Austin Hooper. Just his second catch of the day. The Browns have really been running the ball at will to start this game.
Sure have.
Back to pass, Baker. Again, he's got a streaking Hooper, and he's going to be right near the sticks, and he pushes a man down. Give him the yardage. That was Carl Joseph that he shoved to the ground, and they are going to give him the first down. Nice play there for the Browns and Austin Hooper.
And that was pure effort and just willpower there, willing himself across the line to pick up that first down. Great sense of where the sticks were and where the line of gain was from Hooper.
Absolutely outside zone, left side. Here comes Chubb. Shifts the ball, stiff arms the man, and he's going to be dragged down by Kwiatkowski after a nice run on that play. So, honestly, usually you don't run very effectively to the outside as they bring a safety up. So I'm going to flip this run to the other side. We'll see if it's effective. But you usually don't run super effectively. Here he is. Oh, nice bang cut. Chubb. He's got another huge hole up the field, bowling his way over the rookie Trevor Moehrig. And he's down to the 32-yard line. Huge run for Nick Chubb.
Yeah, and he's going to be in the zone there with that run. What a read there from Chubb as he just saw that outside zone just start to open up just a little bit, and he plants beautiful bang up the field and just takes advantage of it. Nicely done by Chubb. Great vision.
Indeed. It's a little play action. Look, watch out! Will's just standing there as Cleveland Farrell got around him quickly. Baker did not feel that one at all.
Yeah, View, I just do not understand that nonsense. It shouldn't have ever come out of ESPN, let alone, just absurd. Just absurd.
Absolutely absurd. Welcome, Aaron. Good to see you, brother. Dino, there's your screen on second down. Nice play to Nick Chubb, and he's going to get about 7 of it back, rendering that sack no longer applicable, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Here's a 3rd and 11. Baker going to go empty here, 5 wide. Clock still running here, about 3 minutes and 10 seconds still to go. Baker surveying. He's going to go to Beckham underneath, and Beckham runs his route right into the zone there, and Damon Arnett is waiting for him in a quick tackle. It's going to bring up a 4th and 8.
Yeah, that one was actually just a late read from Baker. He needed to get a little bit earlier on that route so that Odell had an opportunity to turn upfield prior to the man and zone coverage out on the perimeter. If Baker puts it there, maybe even a second or two earlier, then Odell Beckham is free in space and had plenty of room to work. Potentially picks up that first down.
Yeah. All right, again, kicks, drives that in, and kicks are good by me now. 13-0 here, 2:31 to play. First half of our Week 1 opener. Nagy on Sports. Yeah, of course, MKC was in the thick of it. But don't worry, she reported today that the Browns are all in on Baker Mayfield. So we should all feel better now. Gosh. Golly gosh. All right. Looks like 3 tight ends to the left side here for Derek Carr under center. They got 231. Let's see how aggressive that they choose to get. It's the rookie Matt Bushman in motion. Carr back to pass. Little pump fake to the right side. Going to go ahead and throw it to Bushman quickly, and he's going to be ripped down right away. That's JJ3 on the tackle. And they hurry up to the line, but I don't think it's going to be in time here. 2-minute warning. A beautiful night at First Energy Stadium. Again, it's Sunday Night Football here in Week 1. Browns and Raiders, so excited to have this 2021 sim ready to go for you. Again, all the rosters are updated. The only things that are going to be wrong are just going to be a few numbers that we're still waiting on, so we're just kind of guessing on those. We did guess on a couple of cuts, based on who we think will show out in various phases of camp, but for the most part, us, trying to make it as realistic as possible. And we're excited to bring this one to you. Make sure you continue to go onto the Discord and vote for the other games in addition to the Browns games that you'd like to see. We had a really, really, really fun one yesterday to start our season off. Rams and Bears, and how about Justin Fields? He was awesome. If you haven't had a chance, go check that one out. That one was a lot of fun yesterday.
Yeah, it sure was. That was a great game.
Going quick here now, back to pass quickly over the middle. Almost jumps the route. Ronnie Harrison thought he had himself a pick. He jumps right in front of Waller, but Waller is able to drag it in.
Yeah, and if he had, he might have been running all day.
There's another check down to Kenyon Drake. He's going to be short of the line to gain. Again, I have no control over the Browns to call timeout here, unfortunately, because I am only controlling the offense. There's Johnny Gruden over there on the sideline.
Chucky.
That's right. What grade do you give Mike Mayock as a GM so far?
C minus, D.
Kind of the first time one of these, I'm an analyst first, and now I'm going to get, you know what I mean? I don't think he actually had any front office experience beforehand, right?
I don't think so.
He was just the draft specialist. He was the NFL Network's version of Kuiper for a while.
Right, and I think he's showing out that, or at least for him, that has not panned out very well for these Raiders, especially with some of their reaches early in first rounds Clellan Ferrell. They had Leatherwood this year, and so far they're guys that they've gotten in those first round picks where they're going to beat the system and be better than everybody else and pick their guy. Right. Have turned out to be enormous reaches. And really not panned out so well. I expect that's probably true for Leatherwood too. But no, I would give him. I think he'd probably be fortunate to get a C- or a D. I mean, you could easily say he's got a failing grade just because he's been not good.
Yeah, it's an interesting shot there. I'm not sure why I have to do this Super Sim thing again, but
yes, George, schedule comes out on the 12th, so you have that.
Yeah, I would say
here this week.
I would say you could probably assume one fairly early and one fairly late. That seems pretty common. I think in our sim we do like 2 AFC West opponents back to back. I think maybe we have the Chargers like week 2, and then division. So you'll get to see them pretty quick for us as well.
And Keith, you're probably not wrong either. That it's the Chucky show there in the Raiders and at the Raiders, and he loves his shiny toys, and
yes, he does.
He's not willing to be talked out of what he likes, and unfortunately that doesn't always work well for him. That's why he gets some very unusual picks, and they're almost hilariously predictable.
Yes,
the way he goes about drafting.
Unhilariously predictable.
Yeah, if you're a Raiders fan, at least.
Run up the middle, Nick Chubb. Oh, another big hole now. He's bouncing off a tackler. He's still going. Nick Chubb down to the 47. That puts him over 100 yards on his first carry of the second half. He has had a whale of a football game, Nick Chubb.
Yeah, he sure has. In fact, this entire 2018 draft class here for the Browns has been just absolutely rocking it between Baker Mayfield, your 2 X factors from that class, both in the zone with Denzel Ward and Nick Chubb. If Baker Mayfield were an X factor here, he probably would also be in the zone with the way he's played. It's been pretty impressive from that group of players.
It really has.
The young core.
Which is why we need all that money to pay them all. Plenty of time, and now he's just going to throw this one away as good coverage down the field on that play-action boot.
Thrown away and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Baker falls back into a shotgun. He's got Kareem Hunt on his right hip. Except that he's going to send Kareem Hunt out in motion. And now he's back to pass, and he quickly fires to the right side. Back to Kareem Hunt. First down, Browns up to the 40-yard line. Just surgical here. 13 of 16 performance for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and he's a very interesting chess piece as a weapon. Obviously you know what he can do in the run game, but in the pass game he's as good as a wide receiver, and that's interesting looking forward strategy-wise. Picking up taking a flyer 6th round on a guy like Felton that potentially can be that in the future for these Browns is pretty exciting too.
Absolutely. Welcome in, Daniel. Appreciate you being on. Yeah, I'm really hopeful for another really important Chiefs-Browns matchup. I know I definitely want another crack at them.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game. Many have picked it as one of the most looked forward to games of the season. I think it's going to be a massive bout.
Yeah, you got to believe that's going to be Monday night or Sunday night or something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt that's a primetime game. They can't pass that opportunity.
It's a nice little angle route to Chubb out of the backfield as he continues to run and do good things with the football. This time up the middle, he's going to be stopped right at the line to gain. They are going to give him a yard, fortunately, so he will not lose that X factor, that glowing X factor, rather.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, very possible in the sim, Keith. Don't know that that'll happen for the real Browns, for the real Nick Chubb, but in the sim he might.
That's true. In the sim he might, as he goes just for a few yards again to the left side.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. That's a game.
Yeah, View, I actually do think that will translate at the NFL level. He's just so explosive. He's such a, shot out of a cannon. The guy's like a heat-seeking missile out there on the perimeter of your defense, and love what he can do for this Browns defense, and I think he's going to be dynamic early for this defense.
Brown's going to go a little hurry up here. Try to capitalize on a little bit of a personnel mismatch. Chubb up the middle. Oh, it runs towards the defender, but he does get the first down, and now Jedrick Wills hurt again. Second time in this game. Please just be on the sideline. Please just be on the sideline.
Yeah, just kind of clutching that shoulder there. Not a good look there for your starting left tackle. I mean, second injury in a game is not usually a good sign. So this is kind of the question mark as a coaching decision. Do you bring him back out there or just leave Hudson out on the field at this point, trying to preserve your left tackle for future games?
Absolutely, right up the middle. Hunt just pounding. They're just pounding the middle of this Raiders defensive line. There it is. Now I get the opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and keep the backup in.
That's what I would do.
Hey, it actually gave me the, I guess we're in coach mode. So on offense, I'll at least get the opportunity to make that decision, which we never got to see before.
Right, which ironically, some of Madden's choices led to some really bad long-term injuries, which was unfortunate for us in previous sims. When we had injuries on, we would have some guys that ended up going out for long periods of the season because Madden decided to bring them back, and we're like, why? Why would you do that?
Extremely fair and accurate point there, Kit. Baker back to pass. He's got time. It looks like he had a man if he wanted. Now he's going to throw out of the sack and just chuck it out of the back of the end zone. So I think 3 of his 4 incompletions have been throwaways. Yeah. So he's been very accurate and very efficient with the football, and yet another field goal here. I guess I probably could have gone for that.
No, I think
talked about it.
I think going for it there is a fine choice. 3rd and 4 at that spot. This time of the game with the score as it is, and the way your offense is producing, not to mention your defense. I think that's an okay position to be kicking a field goal.
Still just the first drive, the opening drive, a nice 6-minute drive to start the half. That is a fun and funny fact, Daniel.
And the fact in that scoreline also is that it puts them outside of a 2-score, being able to be within reaching 2 scores. So
well, I suppose there's
outside
2
unless
point
they do
conversions.
2 point conversions, but that's unlikely. So
how about that? 88 to 283 here, total yards so far in this game. Couldn't have drawn that one up any better, I don't think.
No.
If you're a Browns fan. Up the middle now, Drake. Here he comes flying in. JJ3. Great tackle in space. Such a nice safety blanket back there with him at strong safety. Running the ball again. Drake up the middle, fighting his way, ripping through tacklers and getting knocked over. That's Jordan Elliott again there, 94, because I don't know what number he's going to end up actually being. And then, yes, if you were wondering, currently there is no Malik McDowell, mostly because he's not actually in the game, because he hasn't played a down of NFL football, despite being drafted, just 3 years ago now, 4 years ago? So he was not in the game, and we chose not to make them.
A.J. Cole in punt formation for the Raiders.
Another punt here for A.J. Cole. Felton awaits for it down at about his 12. He's going to roll forward to the 16, and that's it for the rookie Demetric Felton.
At their own 16-yard line.
All right. Maybe throw this thing in chew clock mode right now. 1/4.5.
Might be a bit early for that, but certainly could be a little bit heavier on the run here.
Sure. Another broken tackle for Hunt, fighting his way towards another first down. My, oh my. This running game is something else today.
Yeah, it sure is, and that's another reason to be favoring the run here, is just because they've proven they can't stop it. So why fix what's not broken?
Here it is. Here's Chubb again up the middle, following a pulling Taylor, breaking tackles down to the 35. This isn't fair anymore. He is having a whale of a football game.
Yeah, and that stat right there, just on that particular run, is the tale of the story. 8 yards after contact. That's just, such a Nick Chubb thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Little motion coming from Jarvis Landry. Turn around again, give it to Kareem Hunt, and this time there's a run blitz coming from Carl Joseph. We've seen how effective he can be against the run, and he does a nice play there. I don't know if we have a straight tight end fade in the playbook. The play that I called did have Hooper on kind of a flag route to the corner of the end zone, but obviously we didn't have a super great camera angle to see if he was open.
There is actually a not a true fade, but there are some tight end seam routes that work pseudo similarly to the fade.
Gotcha. Here's a 3rd and 4 as we click down to about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Baker is going to send Kareem out of the backfield to the left side, set him up as another receiver, that we know that they've run this play a couple of other times. He goes back that way, caught, first down across the 50. Kareem Hunt to the 48-yard line, just his second catch, but both of them have been huge first down catches.
Yeah, that one was absolutely critical. Very nicely done there out on the outside. Nicely read by Baker as he comes back. There was his second read. He comes back to it and finds Hunt on the perimeter. Nice throw, nice catch.
There's a little boot game to the right side as he's going to fire quickly to Njoku on the sideline. He's going to go out. Short gain. Actually, they're going to give him no gain as they tried to go to David Njoku there on that boot action.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Left side, Chubb. He's got a big hole. There he goes. Left side. Little stiff arm of Morig, but he does get pushed out of bounds. Ay, 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 Nick Chubb. Woo, mama, there goes that man. Wow.
Yep, and again, this O-line just exerting their will, creating massive holes, and Nick Chubb is one to exploit. He's got some afterburners on him. He can absolutely hit another gear, and he does on that one.
Here's another play action pass across the middle. He's got Beckham! Touchdown, Browns! Beckham kind of didn't want to go into the end zone there, but unfortunately the defender kind of pushed him in.
That was really interesting there. The Browns kind of like, they're patient, then explosive play, bam, bam, just like they can. I mean, they have incredible playmakers on this offense and the ability to strike at any moment. You don't know when that's going to come on the run game or in the pass game, and they do it back to back there. Just gives you a glimpse of how great this offense can be. And even though not that they had been, quiet, not producing, they've been getting stuff done, but hadn't really taken any big shots. And suddenly they one big run and they take a shot downfield. Huge play to Beckham. Love it.
Man, those play action, that was the same kind of concept as that awesome Rashard Higgins touchdown we saw in the preseason, where both of your tight ends were kind of doing, slant flag post routes to the right corners of the end zone, and then Beckham came back across the field, and he was wide open.
He was.
And over the top of the linebacker, just nobody there. Just a great play, a great read, a great throw, and 23-0 here is the result. Hey, Kevin, welcome in. Go Browns, indeed. Was that a good play action choice there, View? View's kind of busting my chops for running so much.
That was a good play action. It worked nicely.
23-0, man. What do you want me to do?
I don't know if you saw that on that play, but JOK was lined up like a free safety in the backfield there. Way nice. Back there.
Hey, why not? Mess him up. Screw him up. Play action again now for Carr. Firing right side. And he's going to hit Ruggs, who kind of found a little spot in the zone between Ward and Newsome. He's got a nice play, probably the most explosive of the plays we've seen so far from this Raiders offense.
Hey, Kevin, welcome in.
I haven't seen that yet, View, but I have a lot of people that I trust their ability to critique tape and stuff have gone back in and looked at some of his film, and they're actually saying he's a better and more nuanced route runner than initially thought.
Yeah, the biggest issue was the fact his quarterback was terrible.
Right, yeah, Bo Nix is terrible. But they were saying it was one of those kind of like, at first glance, yeah, maybe it doesn't look like he's the best route runner. They just used him in these kind of gadgety kind of plays because they had, Marlon Williams, Seth. I mean, they had some really dynamic receivers as well that also got drafted. So maybe it's not quite as much of a project as we were all told to believe at the beginning.
For a moment there, I thought that play was about to be setting up to be the longest shuffle sack of all time.
I know. But credit Carr for staying with it, and his receiver came back to the football, and they were able to get it. Turn around, they fake the jet sweep and go up the middle, and then Marvin Wilson climbs on the back and drags Kenyon Drakes. We're seeing a lot of different players on the defensive line here for the Browns, which is probably pretty true to form.
Absolutely. Nice rotation, and that's the recipe for success, getting fresh bodies out there. The defensive line takes so much energy. That's the advantage the O-line has, is it takes a lot less energy to block guys than it does to rush every play. So that rotation is going to be critical for these Browns, and I think they've really stepped that up, and that's going to be huge.
pass. Hey! Our first sack, and it's Tommy Togiai.
The fresh guy comes in and does exactly what I'm talking about, coming in on the rush. Very nicely done there from Tommy Togiai, the Ohio State Buckeye, making his presence felt. Baker loves it. Out there doing a very excited jump dance.
But Baker's a bad teammate.
Oh, no, that's nonsense. I don't. That's just such. Have you watched him sprint to celebrate with his teammates? Are you kidding? Oh my goodness! The slide in for the Hollywood celebration. Like, come on now. What is this?
Lazy, weak takes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you, View. It would be awesome to have our own Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah.
Minus the beating his kid part, but
yeah. But no, they also pick them for character and for who they are, work ethic, and I think that it's safe to say that all of our draft picks are outstanding, upright, model citizen types.
Right. Gosh, Chubb just continues to just run dudes over. Unreal. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. Browns all kinds of in front of all the categories here, and I just want to hope that this game ends efficiently and without injury.
Yep, absolutely. You got to say Nick Chubb is certainly scary when he's in the zone, isn't he?
Yes, gosh, he sure is. He sure is. Baker climbing under center again. Looks like it's Kareem Hunt in the backfield now. Makes a quick little cut to avoid the defender, and then it looks like maybe a face mask they're not going to call as Nick Kwiatkowski kind of hits him in the face and then knocks him to the ground.
Nicely read by Kareem Hunt, recognizing that his first option hole was quickly closed, and makes a nice little cut to get to the outside and a little bit of production out of it.
Absolutely. Lots of time for Baker. Lots of time, and he fires late, and he's got his man, and it's Higgins, his first catch of the day, and it's a big one for 13 yards and a first down, Browns.
That's right. Yeah, don't forget about Higgins. Don't sleep on him. He's got some ability to get open, and he's proven it at the NFL level time and time again, and there he is, just taking advantage of the zone behind him on the linebacker, stepping up in front of them, and just very nicely done from Higgins.
Indeed. Turn around again. Here's Kareem Hunt, and he's going to get ripped down by the high tackle by the shoulder pads, and that's again Yannick Ngakoue, their free agent toy that they paid a lot of money for.
I like that view. Nick Chubb is as if Maserati made a tank.
Yes, there you go.
I like that. A very fast tank.
Turn around, give it to Chubb again. Breaks the first arm tackle. He's got the first down and more, and he's going to go down at the 20-yard line as he's approaching 200 on the day. My, oh my.
Hey, welcome in, Chris G. Yeah, this is a fun game. Go back and watch it. You'll enjoy the show.
Yes, welcome in, Chris G. Indeed. Baker adjusting something at the line. Turn around, give it to Kareem Hunt. Right side, he's through the hole, and he's got 10 yards. And now he's up to 70 as the Browns are just running at will right now.
Yeah, payback
Just
game
crazy.
indeed. And this time the Browns are all about that ground and pound and very much sticking it to these Raiders. And, man, have they done that all game long. It's been very satisfying.
Yes, they sure have. This one's Hunt up the middle, and he's going to get hit pretty quickly in the middle of that defense. That's 93, the defensive lineman on the tackle, Solomon Thomas, who comes over from the San Francisco 49ers. Baker back to pass here. A little boot action. He's thinking about it. Firing left side, corner of the end zone. He's got Beckham. Touchdown, Browns.
What a strike.
What a play there.
What a strike to the corner there. Baker just finds Odell out, picks him out of the crowd. He's like, there were a bunch of bodies back here in the back of the end zone, and just Baker throws a bullet to that corner. And nothing the defense can do about that one. Odell just had position, and Baker sees him and just puts it on him. What a great throw and a great catch in the corner.
Oh, we're gonna get a booth review though on this. I thought his toes were in for sure.
Yeah, he was in.
1, 2. Was that left toe down when he had possession?
Yeah, he dragged it.
He's in right there. Yeah,
he dragged it.
This is kind of a crappy camera angle.
Yeah, let's cut off the toes. That makes no sense. That's all we care about.
Let's see.
It's a video game. You can control the camera angles. Why aren't you showing us the part that matters?
And it looks like the play is going to stand, and they're going to come out for the extra point. Yeah, that's interesting, Daniel. I mean, I don't know a lot of Chiefs fans, so you are a resident Chiefs fan, but that's interesting hearing your perspective that you feel like you still haven't recovered from the loss of Kareem Hunt.
Well, I mean, obviously the Chiefs managed to win the Super Bowl without him, and Hunt was relatively devastated by that revelation that they went on to win a Super Bowl without him on the team. But on the other hand, Kareem Hunt, you look back at his first year with the Chiefs, he was just so good as he wins the rushing title and just made defenses look silly out there. But yeah, no, he's been a great piece for these Browns. That combination of Chubb and Hunt has been super dynamic, and what a luxury to have.
Yeah, absolutely. View, you bring up a good point. I mean, Kit and I never really talked about that. I mean, maybe we do sub Nick Chubb out. Maybe we let him get his 200 yards and then sub him out just to don't risk injury. I don't know.
Yeah, the biggest problem, though, is I don't think that's what the real Browns would do, though. I don't think they would actually sub him out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how many games have they got? I mean, he's got to be close to 30 carries.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
So I'm trying to mix in enough Kareem Hunt to keep him fresh so he doesn't get any stamina-based injuries. As another little drag route to Hunter Renfrow is going to come up short, but the Raiders still offense out on the field, and they're going to go for it here on a 4th and 4.
Yeah, they kind of, I mean, they've only got 9 minutes. They kind of have to, but
floats it left side, and it's almost picked off. Greg Newsome, the rookie, right there, had great coverage. I thought he picked it.
I thought he did too, but actually it's better that he didn't. It's smart play by the rookie not to pick it since it was 4th down, and because obviously he goes down right away with contact from Waller. If he picks that, it ends up being advantageous to the Raiders. So good job to block but not pick that pass.
Absolutely, very smart play from a kid that went to Northwestern.
That's right.
Turn around, give the ball. Kareem Hunt angling right side. Woo, takes a shot from Cadillac Carl right there. Joseph sporting the 43. They haven't given him a number yet, but they already have a number 42 in Corey Littleton. Yeah, and that's how it works. And we're going to get to that point probably even this year. We're going to see talented guys get cut from the Browns. Again, Kit and I talking about whether that's McDowell or Wilson or Billings, Malcolm Smith in the linebacker room, Mac Wilson. I mean, there will be guys that end up getting cut and probably signing with other teams because they're, good players.
Absolutely.
Clock down under 8 to go now. Is Baker continuing to wait until there's like 3, 4, 5 seconds to go on the clock before snapping it. Turn around on a 3rd and 2, give it to Chubb. He just bullies his way through the middle, and he's got another first down. Nick Chubb, that was his 30th carries at $179 on the game for Chubb. And it looks like, I forgot to check, but it looks like Wills is back in the game. So they must have auto-subbed him back in when he was healthy enough to do so. Nope, actually Hudson is.
I was going to say,
there he is.
Yeah, that's 76.
And that's going to finally get Chubb out of the zone as he loses 3 yards for the first time in a long time. And that will result in him losing his X-Factor glowing orangeness. It was a good run, though. Pun intended.
It was.
Several good runs. Baker back to pass on a 2nd and long, and he's going to float it left side. Little check down look there, and it's going to go to Kareem Hunt. Only a short gain there, maybe about 4 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I would say the way to sum up that X factor going out is the damage has been done.
Yes, it has. Baker back to pass, drag route, Beckham if he wants it. Oh, Beckham clears everybody out, and right there in the middle of the field is Hooper, and he's down to the 1. He's going to get tackled right there. What a cool route that was.
Yeah, it was cool, and that actually highlights one of the things that Beckham brings to this offense that was sorely missed, is the fact that he clears out defenders just like you saw right there, and look how wide open Hooper was in the middle there because of Beckham clearing him out.
Absolutely, and 1 yard to go, and Kareem Hunt takes advantage of that, and he gets his first touchdown of the season. Browns really pouring it on now.
I think that's actually a different discussion, though. I don't think Aaron Rodgers was limited by, his Packers weren't limited by his contract so much as they were just, for whatever reason, determined to draft in a way that was not advantageous to supporting him in his role. And, they could have gone out and gotten him weapons when he needed them, and that's how you supplement guys on big contracts like that. That's how you build successful teams, even with a very expensive quarterback, is you bring in young, talented guys you have on rookie contracts that are inexpensive. But they elected not to do that. Instead, back when they draft Jordan Love, bringing in a replacement instead, which is just so head-scratching. And their last 2 drafts in particular have been very, very strange.
Yeah, time will tell. I mean, like most deals, that Mahomes deal looks insane now, and in 5 years, every quarterback could be making $45, $50 million a year because of where the cap continues to go. I mean, they're talking about the new TV deal and with billions in front of it, not millions in front of it. So you're right there. I mean, it's always a gamble when you're the first one to do something like that. To sign that kind of a ridiculous, baseball 10-year type deal for ridiculous amounts of money. But time will tell, and I'm with you a little bit. I think that's an underrated part of Tom Brady, is that trust me, he got paid plenty, but he never wanted, he never felt the need to be the highest paid guy at any time, always at the expense of being able to bring in a few more other players for, both sides of the football to help him out. And maybe that made them win Super Bowls, we'll never really know, but certainly didn't hurt.
Right. Well, and I think the difference here for me in particular, when we're talking about those two teams especially, is for the Packers, Gutekunst and that front office, and the way that they have drafted, really has been let's have a competitive team but not win Super Bowls. I don't think that's what Kansas City is going to do necessarily. And I think that you can, they've drafted very well in Kansas City, have a very good track record of good drafts there. So I expect, even with Mahomes on what may not look like a huge contract down the road, but give it some time. But even on big money like he's got right now, I still expect them to draft well and build around him and be very, very, competitive, specifically for the Super Bowl, for years to come with him at the helm, just because he's so dynamic and so good. And I don't think they're not gonna waste that. They're too good at drafting to do that.
Right. Well, and they were talk about a tangible need that arose in the Super Bowl with their inability to protect, and they spent a lot of time and money to readdress that offensive line in the offseason, and
they sure did.
It's gonna, even with cutting Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz, who's arguably the best right tackle in football, you were able to replenish and rebuild that line with younger, more sustainable pieces.
Right. Now, what I think that tells us about, Kansas City in particular, is they're very much in it to win another Super Bowl, and and I think that's going to be the long term. As long as they've got Mahomes, that's what they're going to be doing. I think. I don't think they're in it for anything else other than Super Bowl wins. It could go the way of the Packers. I just don't see it.
Yes. It was a nice chance to see a sack there. Tack and Myles Garrett going to both get half sacks, as then on a 3rd and 24, he fires across the middle, incomplete. Derek Carr has had a rough game, and they're going to go ahead and choose to punt here on a 4th and 24. Yeah, I'm not saying Mahomes will do that either. Daniel.
The Browns take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, Kit and I both feel that Baker is more in the Tom Brady side of things than the Pat Mahomes side of things in terms of what he wants to do and what he wants to take. But trust me, he's still going to get paid.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he will. But with the expanding salary cap and the way it's going forward, I actually expect that the Browns are going to, they're very smart with their money and their contracts, and I think that they're going to find creative ways to make it all work. And I think that you can expect guys like Wyatt Teller to get re-signed. Nick Chubb's going to get re-signed. I expect. I think all those deals are going to get done. And I think that this team that we have is very stable and will be built around that young core for years to come.
Number 24, Nick Chubb, the ball carrier. He's brought down at the 20-yard line. A 1-yard pickup brings up third.
Just salting this one away. Man, I know it is for me too, View. It really is. It still feels very strange that we are a smart and intelligently run franchise for the first time in a really long time.
Absolutely true, and love seeing it, because you from a comment way back when you made about how previous regimes probably make the deal for Rodgers in this position. You're not wrong. I mean, that's the kind of thing that the Browns were known for. Stupid things like that. There was just like, why? Why would you do that? But I got to give a lot of credit to this front office. They're way too smart for that, and they're not about to make those kind of errors.
Didn't chew the clock for me before that punt, so I had to wait a minute to punt it off. As we are down to 34 seconds left in the game. Joel Bitonio, he must be the long snapper, getting down there to make the tackle along with Troy Hill. Derek Carr back out onto the field. Yes, I'm sure you don't, Daniel. Trust me, we'd be okay with it too. It's been a near perfect opening week for us here at Nagy Sports. Is a huge ball chucked deep left side. Ward is with him, and he knocks it away. Excuse me, that was Newsome. Step for step with Henry Ruggs. Oh, my.
Yeah, Newsome showing some really, really sticky coverage there. Way, way deep. Very nicely done from Newsome. Just enough to knock it away from Ruggs.
Awesome.
From the burner. What a great play from the rookie there.
Really good throw, too, from Carr.
It was beautiful, but Newsome just too good in coverage.
Right side, and Denzel jumps it, picked off. He's going to get up, 45, 50, angling to the 45. He's going to go down. Denzel Ward, his second pick of the day.
Yeah, and back in the zone. The only thing, if I had a bone to pick on that one, is Denzel, just go down. Don't keep running. If there's 0 point, you're up 37-0. There's no reason to run the ball. You're literally just giving the ball back to your offense for the victory formation here. Like, why are you running it back? Don't. Like, what are you doing?
It's not even giving me a victory formation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Where's
should
it
be
at here?
Yeah, you just go to the
teams?
special teams, maybe.
All I can do is punt from special teams.
Weird.
Where's it at? That is weird. Oh well, I have to do something, so I'm gonna get called for a delay of game here. Delay of game after a turnover. Blame the coach. I don't know why it didn't give me Baker's only blemish of the game.
Yeah, and the other reason why you don't run it back there if you're Denzel, it's just, you're risking injury. Just go down to, there's really no need. 17 seconds left in a game that you've clearly won. It should be a victory formation here if we could select it. I don't know why Madden is not smart enough to give us that option, probably because there's timeouts for the Raiders to burn for no reason.
I guess that's true, but they haven't, though. So that's going to do it. We're just going to let this one tick down. What an opening week here. 37-0. The Browns showing out on national television here in the Sunday night game. Absolutely perfect way to start our 2021 sim. Couldn't have drawn it up any better if we had tried. I don't know, maybe like 10 sacks or something for the defensive line, I suppose. But for the most part, awesome game. Great chat. Appreciate everybody being on. Kevin, we will do the last. Kid, can you check real quickly what's winning the AFC Game of the Week voting?
It is it's the Bills and Titans, I think.
The Bills and Titans are currently, so we'll probably do that game tomorrow, depending on schedule. Kit and I need to connect on that. But we will try to get that one going, sort of continuing with the as schedule allows, one sim per game one sim per day kind of a thing, if we can make it happen. So appreciate everybody being on. This one's a blast. Let's take a quick look at the stats. Baker was 23 of 28 for 229. That's 82%. And again, at least 3 of those were just smart throwaways. He did have 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr, on the other hand, make sure I'm looking at the correct screen here. 17 of 29, 143, and he did have 2 interceptions. Both of them went to Mr. Denzel Ward. On the ground, take care, Keith. Appreciate you, man. Have an awesome day. Nick Chubb, 35 for 195 for a touchdown. Look at this. 19 broken tackles. Incredible stat there. 89 yards coming after contact. Kareem Hunt, 17 for 71, and he also added a touchdown. Just incredible day for look at that. That's over 50 runs of the football. That's Browns football right there. Kenyon Drake, 13 of 42. Again, we talked about Josh Jacobs with a 2-week injury, so he was not able to play today. And Drake did he did a pretty good job, all things considered. Receiving the ball, the Raiders were led by Darren Waller. He had 6 catches for 55 yards. But how about Drake with 2 drops? And how about Henry Ruggs with 2 drops? He was only able to get 2 catches, the speedster, now in his 2nd season out of Alabama. For the Browns, Beckham, leading receiver, just the way you wanted him to be, since the Browns are obviously worse without him. But he had a great game today, 6 for 56, and those 2 awesome touchdowns. Chubb actually had 6 catches out of the backfield. Hooper with 4, Landry with 3, Hunt with 3, and Richard had that big first down catch as well. Defensively speaking here, we'll start with the Raiders. Again, you expect to see a boatload of tackles because of how much the Browns ran the ball. 19 of them for Kwiatkowski. Corey Littleton adds 15, 12 for Rasul Douglas, and there's Cadillac Carl with 11. Sacks today, they were able to sack Baker Mayfield twice, and it's both of your rush ends, Max Crosby and Cleveland Farrell. No turnovers for the Browns, which is also a beautiful, beautiful thing. For the Browns on defense, they're going to be led in tackles by their slot corner, Troy Hill, with 12 of them. Ronnie Harrison with 7. How about the rookie JOK? 6 tackles in his opening game. So did Greg Newsome. So, yeah, if you want to think about this being an Andrew Berry win, 12, there's Hill, there's JOK, there's Newsome, there's Malik Jackson, and there's Anthony Walker all right there on your screen. Sacks today. Big Tommy Two Guns got himself a sack.
Harrison too.
Yes, and Harrison. Yes, you're right.
The guy they
Harrison
brought in to replace Delpit. So
that is very true.
Love.
Yep, exactly right. 3 sacks for the Browns. Togiai, Malik Jackson, and then that half for Miles and Tack. Don't worry, something tells me that Miles will get his over the course of this season. Interceptions today. Denzel had 2 of them, and they were both awesome. Also, just because I like to see how pass deflections work. How about the rookie Greg Newsome? 4 pass deflections today. Just a great day for him in his debut performance. 2 for Denzel, and then a couple other for a couple players, including JOK, and again in coverage playing a nice job. So all in all, big time win for the Browns here, 37-0. Kid, anything to wrap this one up?
No, great way to start a season in prime time. Love it. 37-0 against the Raiders. A little bit of a revenge win here as we really stuck it to them on the ground, which was something we didn't manage to do last time around. So love seeing that. Love seeing the rookies out there and the new players. The free agents and rookies really showed out today and really showed why that defense is just a whole new defensive unit out there. Really played well today, and the offense continued to click just like they were at the end of the season last year. So love seeing all of that, and you just have to love what the Browns can be this year. You're getting an early preview of it here on Nagy on Sports, and opportunity to see how good this team really could be.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really fun one. Appreciate everybody being on. Again, happy Mother's Day to the Nagy on Sports mothers out there. Just really appreciate it. Thank you so much to our subscribers. We're really excited about this 2021 sim. We've spent a lot of time getting these rosters up to date, getting all the rookies in. We made our own draft class based on PFF's rankings. So we're really excited about, again, the reality of what we might be able to simulate, and hope that we can continue to get some new folks and some new love for the channel. But really do appreciate all of our subscribers, and those of you who've been around since the beginning. Y'all are the best. We really appreciate it. So today we don't even have to root for another team because they didn't win. The Browns took care of business. Again, 37-0 as they beat down the Raiders here in week 1 of the 2021 sim. So again, take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your weekend. And as always, go